Hi everyone, I'm Tock Custom, and we're going to do a full introduction to machine embroidery for absolute beginners. We're going to be using the Brother SE700, which is both a sewing and embroidery hybrid machine. Brother is sponsoring this video, so big thanks to Brother for being part of this. Now we're going to talk about all of the tools and supplies you're going to need to get started. So the SE700 comes with most of what you'll actually need to get started. So you're going to get your embroidery harness, a 4x4-inch hoop, a screwdriver, this is a machine embroidery presser foot, and machine embroidery bobbin thread. You're also going to get these rounded, blunt-tipped embroidery snips. Now things that don't come with your machine that you will need are fabrics, different types of stabilizers. So we have cutaway, tearaway, and water-soluble stabilizers. You can also get these in pre-cut sheets. These are third-party spools of machine embroidery bobbin thread. These are machine embroidery needles, and this is machine embroidery thread. It's also nice to have something else to cut with, and basting adhesive is really helpful for getting everything hooped. So that's it for our supplies, and now we can set this all up. Now this whole process is really simple. So first we're just going to grab this piece and set it aside. Take our embroidery harness, and this will just slide and click into place like that. This also tells the machine that it is now in embroidery mode. Now we need to swap out our sewing presser foot for our embroidery presser foot, and we've got this little screwdriver right here. So there's a bolt on the left that you'll loosen, and you don't want to take it all the way out. You just want to loosen it until it falls down like that. Then we can kind of raise the foot and just slide this out of the way. Now I'm going to loosen this a little bit more because we have to kind of slide this thing over that bolt. So here's the front of our embroidery presser foot, and I'm going to kind of turn it sideways so that that open groove will slide over that loosened bolt. Then I just kind of twist it until it stands upright like that, and I'm going to tighten this by hand until it stays in place, and then I'm just going to tighten this a little bit more. Not too tight, but tight enough. I'm going to put one of my embroidery needles in this machine, and I actually haven't shown how to switch needles in this series yet. So this little black bolt at the top here, I'm just going to loosen with the screwdriver until I can kind of do it by hand, and eventually the needle should just fall down. There we go, just like that. I'm going to take this good needle out, and I can use that later. So if you've never changed needles in a machine before, on the bigger side there is always a flat part of the needle, and you can see it as I'm turning it right there. So that flat end needs to go towards the back of the machine. Now it kind of helps if you press this bar up until it's even. Then we're going to spin this needle until the flat part is in the back. This should just slide right up, and then we're going to tighten this black bolt by hand until it doesn't move. Then I'm just going to give it a little bit more with the screwdriver like that. And once you have those in place, don't forget to raise your presser foot back up. Now, if your machine isn't already plugged in, you can do that now and turn it on. And keep in mind, your foot pedal doesn't even work in embroidery mode. So once you turn it on, you can press the screen. It'll give you a little warning telling you to make sure that the embroidery area is clear. Hit OK, and then this will go into position so that we can get ready for embroidery. Now there's one thing left to do before we get to all the fun stuff, and that is to wind a bobbin with our embroidery bobbin thread here. So you guys should know how to do this by now, so I'm just going to do it real quick. And if anyone's curious, embroidery bobbin thread is just a little bit thinner and smoother than normal thread. A big part of machine embroidery with Brother machines is this button right here. So it'll change from red to orange to green. So anyway, I'm bringing that up now because when I snap my bobbin winder to the right, it'll turn orange, and then I think if I hit the button, it will start winding our bobbin. And then when it gets stuck, you can hit the button again, and then we're going to cut our thread and then put our bobbin down here. Anyway, once you've got a wound bobbin, we can take this thread out, and I believe this machine will warn you when the bobbin thread is low in both sewing and embroidery mode, which is really nice. So that's all the setup up to this point, but now we have to decide on what our design or embroidery is going to be. I'm not going to use one of my custom designs for this demo. I'm going to use something built into the machine. So I'm going to go to this animals button and then scroll over and find this puppy because it only has 3 colors and it should be nice and easy. So from here you can move it, scale it up or down, rotate it or whatever, but I'm just going to hit edit end, and I don't need to move it any further, so I'm going to go to embroidery right here. So this is the final screen you'll see before you start your embroidery. So we've got our graphic. These are all the colors in order of our design. And this tells us it'll be just under 10,000 stitches and it'll take about 25 minutes. So now that we know our first color, which is electric blue here, we can thread our machine just like we normally would if we were sewing. All right, so our machine is threaded and I'm gonna pull kind of a long thread tail at the back, which is fine. As an extra tip, if you don't like any particular color in your design, you can always substitute it for a different color up top. Your machine doesn't know any better and it's just a quick way to swap colors. But in this demo, I'll just stick with the colors that it picked for us. So this machine is ready to go, and the last thing we have to do is hoop some fabric and load it into the machine. So I'm going to show you how I do that, and then we can get this thing started. In this case, we're going to be using a piece of red denim, and denim is a little bit heavier of a fabric, so we can use a lighter stabilizer. So I'm going to use this light tearaway stabilizer and get rid of the cutaway and water-soluble stabilizers. I will talk about those in future videos. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to kind of unroll a little bit of this and just cut around my hoop so I know it's going to fit in here. So our stabilizer is cut, and now we can lay our fabric on top of it. A trick I picked up a long time ago is using some basting adhesive, and this is really helpful. I'm just going to spray a little bit of this stuff on the stabilizer, and then the fabric will kind of stick to it. And it's a nice lightweight adhesive, so it's not going to gunk up your machine. So now I can pick these up together, and they're not going to come apart, which makes hooping it a lot easier, especially with bigger hoops. This might be helpful to some people, but before I even hoop this, I'll sometimes do a little plus or a cross in chalk. This is a chalk pencil. And this is for situations where I need an embroidery to show up on a very specific spot of fabric, which is pretty common. So now that I have my center marked, I'm going to kind of put it right in the middle of the top hoop and then pick all these layers up and set it aside. Now I'm going to take the bottom part of my hoop and loosen this screw so that this opens up pretty wide at the bottom here. Something hopefully like that. Now I'm going to bring back my stabilized fabric with the top of the hoop, and hopefully this will press right into the larger half of the hoop. Just like that. Now before I tighten this screw, I want to kind of hold the frame down and just pull on the fabric to make sure that it's sitting nice and smooth in here. And once that looks good, I will tighten this at the bottom. And I'll do that till it's pretty tight. It doesn't have to be over tightened. All right, this looks great. It's not too tight, not too loose, so we should be good to load this in our machine. So we have our hooped fabric, and one of the sides of our hoop has these two metal pins, and those are gonna match up with these two notches on our harness. Now I'm gonna slide the hoop under the presser foot, and then we are going to match up these two pins with the two notches, and then just press down until you hear it click. All right, so we should be all set. So when I lower the presser foot, this light should turn green, and when I press it, it will start our embroidery. All right, so it finished our first color, and what we're gonna do is we're just gonna switch the thread to whatever it tells us is next. So we're gonna load up our white thread. Now while I'm in here switching threads, I'm gonna trim this blue thread, and now our white thread is loaded up, so we can lower the presser foot again. The light turns green, and we can do our next color. Now I'm going to pause the machine for a moment by pressing the green button, and I want to show you something that I wish I knew when I first started doing this. So this is looking perfect so far, but pretend that this just made a mistake, or a needle broke, or the bobbin thread ran out, or something like that, and you need to go back a few stitches. First, I'm going to raise my needle by pressing this button, and then I'm going to raise the presser foot. So on the bottom right of our touchscreen, there's this little needle with a plus minus. So when I hit that, it's going to give me this screen here. Now let's say I had my thread break about 20 stitches ago. I could hit -10 2 times, and it's actually going to move the hoop back to that position. And then when I hit OK, and then hit the green button, it's going to pick up from where it made that mistake. You can also use that feature to go back by entire colors or forward entire colors. But anyway, we're going to just keep continuing with our white stitch here. All right, so we're back to blue thread again, and then the last color will be black. All right, so here goes our last color. All right, we are all done. So I'm going to pull to the left on this tab right here, and it should just pop right up and out. Then we can slide this out and take a look at what we got. All right, so here is our little puppy embroidery, and it's very normal to see all these little jump stitches, and that's why they send you these embroidery snips. So they have a rounded tip so they won't tear or cut into your fabric or your thread. and it makes it easy to get in there and clip your little jump stitches. So I'm going to take a second to clean this up, and then we should be all done. All right, that looks pretty good. I really like how this turned out. And now I'm going to loosen the bottom part of the hoop and then just push up and it should pop right out. Now at this point, I'm going to flip it over, and because we use a tearaway stabilizer, we can literally just tear this away without using scissors and it'll just come right off. If we were using a cutaway stabilizer, obviously I would just cut it away, but we're all done with that. So now I would take this and probably iron it because I can still see the hoop marks. Typically I'll iron it from the back just in case some of the threads are poly and I don't want them to melt, or I will iron it from the front and just kind of iron over any marks that I see. All right, and there's our finished embroidery, and it's really funny how this camera picks up every tiny little flaw that you might think you see, but in real life, it actually looks really good. I don't know if zooming out helped or not, but either way, I'm really happy with how this looks. Before I wrap this up, I just want to point out my 3 practical uses for embroidery. One is embroidering directly onto little strips of fabric and then sewing that into a finished product, and that's how I made this jacket from scratch. So if I sewed this into a tote bag, it would be like that. The second is embroidering directly onto a pre-existing garment. So I thrifted this jacket and then I embroidered a bunch of stuff directly onto it by just putting hoops on all over the place and then running embroideries. And the third use is making patches. Like this is actually a patch that I sewed on after. Those are my 3 uses. Hopefully you learned something about machine embroidery. Big thanks to Brother for sponsoring this video and being part of this series. If you have any questions about embroidery, please let me know in the comments. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in our next video.